sensational? Well, these are the tools we've had for a long time that a lot of people don't use. When we do a classroom, we obviously don't do the classroom based on tools. We do the classroom based on you doing the exercises. But obviously, when you know the exercises, the tools become a quick way to find those areas without you having to keep doing the exercises, because by then you know what the exercise is and you know how to apply the exercise. That's the important thing. If all we did was show you these tools, you'd never know how to find them. You'd never know how to find the price areas that appear on these tools. You would never know what to look for in these areas. So obviously, when we look at this, these are all hidden supply and hidden demand areas. Hidden supply and hidden demand. It doesn't mean we're buyers or sellers at any one of these prices. It means that we're looking for these ideas. We're looking to try and recognize the possibility that I might sell into that supply. Obviously, out of those green touches, literally only one of them, whilst it did reverse for a little bit of time, it flipped over. So supply became demand at that stage. And obviously that opened up the door to a new bracket measured move, and that opened the door to a sizable pop to the upside through to the next hidden supply. Now, why is it hidden? Because every single person on the planet projects supply based on the previous levels, right? They project supply based on previous order blocks, which is nothing wrong with that. But we project supply that nobody sees. We project supply that isn't on the charts potentially previously. It might be, but it doesn't have to be, because that's not part of the process, right? So when we understand this, you start recognizing the possibility that these little levels could be quite useful going forwards. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to buy and sell everything. We don't buy and sell every level. We don't buy and sell every touch. We don't trade every reversal on these. We're just acknowledging that it's there. It's going to be a bit of profit taking, worst case. Best case, it might reverse the market entirely, depending upon how the value is. The tools we have from Colin and Greg and David are fabulous because they're based on the classrooms. They're based on an understanding and an ability for you guys to shortcut the process a little bit. See the areas that you maybe forgot about because you were too busy with other things. You forgot to draw in the measures, and therefore this gives you this wake-up call that those measures exist in those particular areas. Because a lot of you will be forgetting to put things on the charts. This reminds you that they exist on the screens. They might not do anything. They exist on the screens nonetheless. So this is what's important, isn't it? When we look at the idea of the shortcut, the way of being able to do these things, it doesn't take away from the classes. It adds to the classes. It doesn't mean that you get lazy. It means you get precise. Looking for these areas doesn't mean that this is the only area that exists, but it gives you at least a starting point for a hint that maybe this is perhaps a very, very important level going forward. So when you see the response to this, okay, you might say, but it's a great day for cherry picking key levels. And that's not what it's about. I couldn't care less if every single trade went through these green levels and carried on. It's the fact that you knew about them, where that hidden supply could be, if the value tied in with that, if the order flow tied in with that at that particular point. That's what's important. And from those, you can see that the ability to then trade the reversal off of these becomes just as important. The hidden supply coming into an area, you can all recognize that even if you traded each of those green touches with a candle reversal, you would have made a killing. What do we mean? Let's take a look. So you see that on this one, even if you sold that reversal there, you would have made a fortune. Even if you bought the first, the reversals are way up here, but even if you bought the first reversal that became visible, which was there, you still were able to make a big splash. You never ever got short there. You would have got long here. And then coming off that one, there's no pivots until that kind of comes in here in the big sell. And then coming off the bottom edge there, if you'd went into a buy trade there, a bit of pain, but obviously a nice profit away from that area. What they do with these supplies and what they do with these demand areas becomes really, really important for us going forward. And this is the same with this concept that we're going to be teaching in today's classroom. So it was quite a good timing to be reminded of the power of these hidden supply and demand areas. And this is the power of the supply demand areas. This is not a long time ago chart. You can see it's oil, of course. You can see it's on quite a big time frame. It's a 5-minute chart actually. But you can see that on a 5-minute chart, you can see it's in the 80s. It's the most recent charts, of course. And you can see the value of knowing this stuff. Very, very, very important price levels, very important outcomes. And it's just that reminder, isn't it? It's the same as Greg's tools. It's the same as Colin's tools. It's the same as a market maker's game. You can all see these things yourself. But what it does is it helps the short circuit, especially when things are getting really fast. Tools will enable you to make faster decisions because you don't have to now get your Fibonacci tool and draw a measure against it. You can look for that as a storyline. And this is what's important, tying these key levels with real money transitions, for example. So you imagine tying in this big short with a real money Charlie D transition trade, tying this key level with a real money bid coming back in on the book. So you're not only seeing the prospect of hidden demand, you're actually seeing demand in those price areas. It becomes very, very, very useful. So when you start applying that information to some of the other transition trades that you're seeing from some of the other tools, the big leans, the Voltics kicking off, the speed of the tick starting to bump away really, really hard, really fast, it all becomes a storyline. It becomes a narrative. There's not many tools that show hidden supply. People would look at this and think it was some sort of hindsight. They'd all be asking, how often does that green line repaint? Because it can't be real. And yet it is real. It is absolutely on the right-hand edge of your chart, isn't it? Is this a great day for it? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's a great day for it. But it's still real. It's still on your chart in advance before the price trades in that area. It doesn't repaint. So we can spot it. It's absolutely fabulous to have that done for you as part of your tool set. All good?